Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality, Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality, Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality, Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Reality, Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality, Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. Oh, my goodness. I am so glad that song isn't a minute long because I had to shoot at some birds before the show started. Don't ask. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. My name is Rebecca Norrington, and I am the world's only happiness specialist. Now, what the hell does that mean? And who is this Rebecca L. Norrington? Who the hell is she? Who does she think she is anyway? Well, let me just share with you my destiny, my purpose, the only reason why I'm on this planet. I mean, this is what I believe. When I was younger, I wanted two things. I wanted to live to my potential, and I wanted to be happy. And this wanting to be happy, you know, when you throw your questions out to the universe, you always get a response. You always get an answer. And all these years later, all these decades later, the answers are coming. And I've been practicing because, listen, when I said I wanted to be happy, I made a commitment. And we're going to talk today about where do you begin? Because I get that all the time. How do you do it? Where do you begin? How do you start? How long does it take? Let me tell you something. This journey, this wanting to experience more happiness or wanting to feel peaceful or wanting to feel good in every moment is a day in, day out, moment in, moment out practice. It is constant. It's just like the need to breathe. It is constant. There's no getting around it. The spotlight is always shining on me. And if you've listened to the show, well, before I go on, I just want to share with my audience that I am available for speaking, for workshops, for day workshops, weekend workshops. Or you just want me to come for an afternoon and speak. I am available. I've taught classes, The Importance of Happiness now for, over 3 years. And I've got a lot of material, and I love, love, love speaking, as you can tell. So those are for my new listeners. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. That's RebeccANorrington.com. And you can email me at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. You just go to the website, go to the contact page, info@RebeccaNorrington.com. Okay, that's enough selling. So today's topic is about positive versus negative. And if you've listened to the show, you know that I'm living in Oregon right now, a California girl born and raised. Now I'm living in Oregon. And I'm living in the middle of a forest. I'm a city girl living in the middle of the forest. But let me take you back a little bit, because I remember making a trip to Monterey, California when I was 18, Carmel, Monterey, and I remember saying, I want to live in a forest. I mean, my parents vacationed in Yosemite every single year. Me and the forest and the trees, I mean, I've had this affinity, this longing to live around trees forever. And now I'm living in the middle of a forest surrounded by trees. Not only that, and I'm not bragging here, I'm trying to give you, I'm trying to share what the universe puts me through, because if I'm making a claim to be a happiness specialist, I sure better walk it, right? I better walk it, not only just talk it. So not only that I always wanted to live in the middle of the forest, but this thing about water, hearing running water, you know, there are fountains that you can buy, you can put outside and or inside to hear the sound of running water. And it's very soothing, very calming. And I have to tell you that during the winter, hold on a second, I can't believe I have to do this, but during the winter, when it's raining, the water is abundant, and the creek, hold on a second, my dear audience. Excuse me just 1 second, please, and I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Excuse me, my audience. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, back to the story. I'll explain to you what I just had to do living in the middle of the forest in just a second. So not only am I surrounded by trees, but in the backyard I can hear the running water. There's a small creek, and when I say small creek, it's a pretty big size. It's running water, and you can hear it constant. I don't have to turn on the radio. I don't need a sound machine. I've got the sound of running water, flowing water right outside the door. Now, to the story. Can you believe that my ego can find fault or criticize the surroundings? That can, when I say find fault and criticize, there's nothing to criticize as far as the trees and the beauty and the smell. But I'm telling you, the what I've had to, I'm going to say the word endure since I've been here, and it is a challenge. It is a challenge to my peace and my happiness, and this is the challenge. Every time, I'm not going to say every time, but let's say 90% of the time, I walk out of this house into nature, I am startled by either a wild animal that's outside, a bug that I've never seen before. Hold on just a second, audience. Or a bug that I haven't seen before, or, like yesterday, for example, there was a wild turkey in the backyard. Now, when I first look out, and I'm not looking for these things, I just looked in the back, and I see this huge bird, and it's just moseying along. I've seen deer. I've seen things that crawl on the deck so fast that I don't even know what it is. So what I'm saying is I'm startled. I'm in a state of being startled in every moment. So and let me just share this. This is the latest. This has been going on for the last, I would say 4 weeks now. So about 4 weeks ago, there was, I hear this banging. I think I've shared the story already, but I'm going to have to share it again because it has something to do with how to soften the ego and positive versus negative. I'll get there, trust me. So about 4 weeks ago, I heard this banging on the windows. I mean, it's constant. And I go outside, and these birds, they're robins, and they are purposely banging on the windows. I'm not talking about a fly-by-night, when the bird just hits the window and falls down and is in shock. I'm talking about birds are doing this on purpose. So I Google why do birds run into windows, and come to find out that these birds, they're male birds, and so they think that there's a rival in the window. They see their reflection, and they're actually attacking the windows because they think they're attacking their rivals. Okay? Now, when it first started, I'm telling you, 4 weeks ago, my vibration and I like, this has got to stop when I found out that this is what they're going to do. And they do it all day long. And living in the middle of the forest, I have a lot of picture windows. In fact, there's so many big picture windows. Hold on a second, my dear audience. Just 1 second. 1 second, audience. And so there's picture windows, glass doors, all over the place. So I'm saying that to say there's a lot of windows, these birds, and they're robins that they bang in the windows. Now, when this first started 4 weeks ago, I'm telling you, I was bothered, annoyed. This has to stop. I mean, I went to Walmart to buy, I had some material taped over the windows, back windows, side doors. It was a whole probably week and a half of trying to find a solution to stop these birds from flying into the window. And the only thing that worked, which is what I was just doing right now, because I'm at the home studio today, what I was doing right now is firing a BB gun out in the direction of the birds, into the trees, because that's the only thing that's keeping these birds away. If I cover all of the windows, now I'm sitting in a I might as well sit in a closet and live. I know this is anyway. I'm kind of dragging on with the story, but I want to say from the very beginning when this first started, my vibration, my anxiety, this has got to stop. I have to say I was even pissed. I was pissed, because they wouldn't stop. I would scare them. I would go to the window. I would tap the window like, shoo, bird, shoo, that kind of thing, and it wouldn't stop all day long. Going to Walmart, getting some different decals, and just trying to hang things on the outside of the windows, putting lawn chairs up on the windows. So the point is this, and the only solution is every 20 minutes, every half hour, I have to go out and fire BBs into the forest, into the trees, and they scatter, they come and they scatter, they come and they go. But that's the only solution. But what my point is, the only way for the ego to lose control over how I'm feeling or what I'm doing or what I'm saying is to loosen its grip and to not give it so much power. Let's go back to the characteristics of the ego. The ego has a lot of characteristics, and they are: something should be different, something shouldn't be happening, something should change, what's next, what's next, what I'm doing right now isn't enough, the present moment isn't enough, it's got to be about the future, let me reminisce or focus on the past. The ego is anti what is. The ego is anti what is happening. And the only way, and so when these birds started this attack, the assault on the house, I was really bothered. And 4 weeks later, that softening of being bothered, it's like, okay, now it's not about being bothered, it's about there is a softening of the reaction, if you're following me. There's a softening of, I notice what's happening. There is a solution. Follow through with the solution and be done with it. All of this attached anger, annoyance, being bothered is all products of the ego. Getting back to, you see I'm a little distracted. Getting back to, because they're swarming, getting back to this positive versus negative. and finding something to criticize, finding some fault in the middle of this space where I'm living right now, which is basically heaven. But being able to find something that's not positive about it. So the attachment to, oh, the birds are a problem, or is this going to happen every year, or now what? How long does spring last? Because supposedly they stop when spring is over. Inevitably, the negative thoughts, the finding fault with or finding something negative in any situation, all it is a habit, a continual habit that I raise my hand. I was taught to practice. I was taught to find fault. I was taught to criticize. I was taught to look for negativity. I mean, look at what's on social media. Look what's on television. It's all. I mean, I can't find too many feel-good stories. It's always what's wrong. I mean, the news is bad news. Damn birds. The news is bad news. But with all of that said, is it possible to remain and stay positive? When I say stay positive, I'm talking about have a vibration of positivity, have a vibration of finding beauty as opposed to finding fault. Have a vibration of, have a habit of, have a behavior of looking for, focusing on how is this experience serving me? What if I shared that all experience serve you? No matter what they look like, no matter what they feel like. All experiences serve us. Now, the only experience that doesn't serve me is when I think something needs to be different or when I think something needs to change. And it's really getting to a place of practicing acceptance of all of it, positive and, quote, whatever we would label negative. Now, going even deeper, any of those labels, all labels subtract from happiness, all labels subtract from peace. So when I say positive versus negative, those are labels. However, there is an energy of a positive and negative energy out in the universe. I mean, positive, negative charges. So when I talk about that, it's the same. But I'm here to tell you that there is a benefit to all energies. There's a benefit to the negative. There's a benefit to the positive. And having a preference of, how can I feel more positive? Or I want to feel more positive. Or I'd rather feel positive than negative. Having that preference right there is a trap. So it really comes down to, when I was talking about the birds and all of it, is being able to flow and vibe with every situation, regardless of how it makes, you're saying it makes you feel. And these birds, I gotta load up the gun again, my BB gun. These birds have taught me a lesson. And one of the first things I want to share is being. Hold on a second. Can't believe I have to load a BB gun in the middle of a radio show. But when the birds surround, and if I don't go on the offense and I'm supposed to let them attack, then the attacks are longer. And I only have to do this in the AM. Actually, the other day there were birds that came out later on. I guess they're kind of evening birds. Hold on a second, radio reality spirituality audience. I have to step outside into the beauty of the trees and fire a few shots into the trees. Getting back to the story, there is a big difference between the vibration that started, my vibration and my thought processes and what I perceived what was going on as a problem 4 weeks ago and now. It's an acceptance of what is. And that positive versus negative is to let you know that, yes, there are different energies out there, and yes, things do feel different. Positive feels a lot better. Joy feels a lot better than depression. But that still is a trap. See, that still is a trap, still thinking that, this feels better than this, that feels better than that. It comes back to unlearning what we learned about this feeling. And the only reason why I'm saying that, and the only reason why I'm asking you to practice it, is because it softens the ego's grip. It softens the ego's hold. It softens the focus that the ego will continually, without question, without stopping, without any rest, attempt to force me to focus on. Oh, focus on the stiff neck. Focus on the whatever. Focus on a problem. Find a problem to focus on. The ego loves that. Find a problem to focus on. So I'm here to share with you, and I don't even know if I covered the topic. Forgive me. So I was a little distracted today. I mean, I'm being attacked by birds on all corners. So, and when they do attack the window, they crap all over the place. I mean, so it's bird crap that I have to steam off. It's just the whole scene, man. But getting to this point right now and accepting it, okay, this is where I am, this is where I'm living, without that edge of, this has got to stop. There's a big difference in vibration, and which one do you think is more peaceful? It comes back to choosing peace or choosing drama. So Reality Spirituality is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. My YouTube channel is out there. Just search Rebecca Norrington and or Reality Spirituality. Facebook, Reality Spirituality. Twitter is RL Norrington. That's my Twitter, RL Norrington. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon, and my second book, Program for Unhappiness, is being written as we speak. But until next time, my dear audience, I just want you to remember who you are. You're a physical extension of the universe. You're always evolving. You're always changing. You're always growing. Love is patient, and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality. Have a great week, and thank you for listening. Thank you, new listeners.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we getting real. Getting real. Reality Spirituality. Get real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.